Yeah, no, I mean, it's fun playing with that guy. We have a lot of fun on the field, and, we're both super physical, aggressive players, so when you put us on the same side of the field, like when I'm a boundary and he's a will, it's really fun. It's a really good duo. It's fun.
You're able to get a sack tonight. What does that do for the confidence and kind of, I guess, mojo or momentum, I guess, for the team?
Yeah, obviously, I'm super happy with that, but, I left a few out there on the table, and I got to go back to work, and, I could have had 4 tonight. So that's the big takeaway for me is I got to get better, and, we got to keep getting better as a team because this team – sky's the limit if we just continue to play complementary football and play better football together.
Do you feel like you kind of took a step forward in that aspect in this game?
Yeah, 100%. No, overall, I'm happy with the way I played, but, I'm always looking for more. I've always expect more out of myself, and I'm just excited to get back to work on Monday because we got a lot of games ahead of us and a lot of good teams, and I'm looking forward to some really good SEC ball and playing with my brothers.
You only gave up 1 touchdown, but it's the kind of touchdown that Coach Kelly wasn't happy about, or Blake Baker either, right? There's one long run.
Yeah, no, it's just got to go back in the film on Monday, look at our gaps, and we got to play gaps down. One guy gets out of his gap, it's that's how those big runs bust. Can't play 10 people can't be doing their job. All 11 have to be doing their job, and we got to work together as a unit. That's why it's a team sport, not an individual sport. So we'll address it and we'll get back to work.
Thank you.
Jack, a lot. So, like I said, I'm probably about like 80%. This week I'm gonna take it sometime and heal up to 100%. Y'all might see me without the knee brace.
Coach talked about cleaning up a lot of the self-inflicted mistakes y'all had offensively tonight. If y'all are able to do that, where do y'all think this offense can go, and just maybe what are some of those mistakes y'all have already talked about?
Like I said, we're just taking it day by day right now. We go one. We trying to go. That's the plan to go one every week.
If you got 11 targets, how many could you do in a game?
How many targets I gotta do?
Could you?
Throw it. I haven't been in. It don't matter.
If you're at 80% now, what can you do now that you had trouble doing or couldn't really do before the bye?
Probably just couldn't really. That's it.
What does it do for your confidence, Trey'Dez, being able to have this breakout game and dominating a defense like that?
It actually boosted, but I knew what I could do. So, it's just the humble beginnings. That's it.
Trey'Dez, to that point, I mean, you would prefer to have that early drop pass back, but how much were you able to really flip the switch off of that?
I use it as motivation, next play mentality. That's all.
Is Garrett talking to you at all between drives, saying, "Hey, I'm coming to you here, I'm coming to you here"? Like, what kind of conversation maybe in game do you guys have?
Just
to get on that connection.
The chemistry that we have. Like, he kind of got in my ear and was like, "Next play mentality." So after I dropped the ball that he had threw the first target, he just was helping me. That's my brother, man. I love him.
With him exiting the game for a couple minutes, came back right after Cooley's interception. How much do you appreciate that fight for him to finish the game?
Man, I appreciate it so much. Like I said, the defense. I love the defense. They're our brothers. They got our back.
Knowing that Aaron Anderson is out for the game, did you know that you would be one of the main targets for this matchup?
Absolutely. Like I said, Aaron is a big role in what we do here in the offense. I had to step up.
Execution in the run game tonight, how would you just assess it?
Stay by our brother's side. That's it.
Trey'Dez, can you talk a little bit about just this team's ability to just fight through it tonight and really just show up when it mattered?
I feel like when we're on one accord, we stick together. We got each other back, and I feel like we're the best offense in the nation.
Trey'Dez, you have very detailed dance moves in the end zone. Do you practice those in the mirror? What are you doing before the game there to get everything?
Like I said, again, expectations. So, 0 points, that's the goal. So I feel like 10 is too much. So, like I said, we have things to improve, and we're going to go back to the drawing board and get them fixed.
The leaders on the team, the veterans on the team, how did you all handle the loss to Ole Miss and message it throughout your locker room?
Oh, yeah. I feel like everyone was really just supportive. Like, I feel like the offense was giving a lot of bash and stuff, but, like, it was like, if the team doesn't score, then the team doesn't win. So, we have to take accountability, too. I feel like, people put so much on the offense, we want to put this stuff on our back, make the score 0-0. Nobody wins. I feel like we're really just supportive of everyone, and it kind of showed today. We played a little bit more complimentary football.
These last 2 games y'all played defensive quarterbacks. How does that prepare you for Pavia next week?
For sure, just, keep rush lane integrity, plaster your man when it scrambles. So really just, preaching that this next week, too, is going to be important.
Mansoor, how much does it help to have those guys get home on front? I think he had South Carolina minus 55 yards in sacks today.
Yeah, I feel like it makes my job easier. Again, this is the reason why I came here, play around elite guys like, myself. So it just makes the game a lot more fun, a lot more, interesting. And, I feel like when I'm in coverage like I was on that 4th down, I know the ball got to come out quick because I have those guys up front.
but on the flip side, you also know he can improvise and extend some plays. So how do you? Is it just responsibility, football, and just staying
Yeah, again, like I said, do your 111. You know, if he breaks out the pocket, corners we got to plaster. You know, and then really just rallying to the ball, having effort. You know, of a hungry defense is very important.
You kind of touched on it a second ago, but the understanding the dynamics of this team and how the defense might need to, hold serve until the offense kind of figures it out. Like, when did that kind of click as a unit for the defense? And how much pride, I guess, do you take in that, kind of knowing you can hold up your end of the deal?
Yeah, a lot of pride. I feel like, when I came here, originally it was like, LSU's offense, like, explosive, like I kept hearing all about it, defense giving up 40-plus points. And, we took that as a challenge. Like, we want to flip the script. Obviously we want to get to the point when both sides are playing like that. But, we want to put the team on our back. And we, like I said, it's 0-0. Nobody wins. So.
You got time for one more? You got time for one more? How do you assess Cooley's game today?
Cooley's game, that's my boy, man. Really just, he's a guy, whatever happens, he's going to bounce back the next play. And I really love that about him. No matter it's a, pass interference, wherever it's played, whatever, giving up, he's coming with the next play with the same intensity, same aggression, and I really just love that about that guy, next play mentality. And, he got an interception today and big time play.
Thank you, Mansoor.
Thank you.